Hey there, loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Lateisha, and on this channel we do everything home. That means cooking, cleaning, decor, styling, you name it. Once it has something to do with the home, we do it on this channel, as well as some lifestyle. So if you guys enjoy that kind of content, do consider subscribing to my channel. Also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and also comment down below because y'all know I love chatting it up with you guys, and I do my best to answer every single comment. So let's get into today's Sunday reset. The plan is to go shopping tomorrow, so I'm going to be cleaning the refrigerator, just making sure it's nice and refreshed, so when it's time to restock it, we're restocking a clean fridge. To clean the refrigerator, I'm going to be using my Sagraton kitchen cleaner. It's specifically for the kitchen, so you can use it inside the fridge as well as the countertops and the backsplash. So I'm going to just spray that down and leave it for it to do a little bit of work while we go ahead and wash the shelves. And to wash the shelves, I'm just using some warm water with some vinegar and dish liquid. After cleaning and adding everything back to the refrigerator, I just went ahead and cleaned down the backsplash as well as all of the cupboard doors and the countertop. It was such a beautiful day that we decided to go for a walk. I love walking. I've always loved walking. You can ask anybody that knows me. It's just so relaxing, and just getting in that fresh air into your lungs is so soothing. This day was so beautiful after having so many rainy days. We had to get out to enjoy it. So I'm just going to allow you guys to enjoy it a little with us because it was just a perfect day. It was so beautiful. After such an amazing, relaxing walk, we decided to do a date night at home for dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up some shrimp as well as make some other sides because we're going to do a pizza night, but we're going to be using our raclette. And if you guys don't know what a raclette is, it's a fondue kind of grill or oven that you place on your tabletop and you can just cook as you eat. It's really fun and we enjoy doing it as a date night option. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video along with you guys. So if you don't know what a raclette is or you're curious about it, definitely keep on watching. So for our sides as well as for the pizza toppings, I'm going to be seasoning some shrimp and I'm just going to put it in its container and rest it in the fridge until we're ready for it. So for my shrimp, I'm just using some fish seasoning as well as a little bit of Cajun seasoning, and I'm not going to add any extra salt because there's salt in the fish seasoning as well as my homemade Cajun seasoning. For another side, I've already washed and cut up our turkey breast or turkey fillets. So I'm going to be seasoning that with some garlic powder, some onion powder, some Cajun seasoning, a little bit of celery, salt, as well as some chicken bouillon and also some paprika. It doesn't really give much of a taste, but it does help with the coloring. And I'm also going to add a little bit of black pepper into it, and I'm not going to add any salt because there's salt in the chicken bouillon, there's salt in the celery salt, and there's salt in the Cajun mix, so we don't need to add any extra salt to this seasoning. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some butter to my turkey strips, and I usually add butter to any kind of poultry because it keeps it moist. If you ask me, instead of adding oil, I go in with the butter for the moisture and the flavor as well. So I'm just going to add a little bit of my liquid butter and just work that in, and then we're going to add the seasonings until our ancestors say that's enough. After we coated it well in the seasoning, I'm just going to be adding it to its display bowl and putting some saran wrap on top and adding it to the refrigerator until we are ready for it. For an additional topping option, I'm going to cook down some ground beef. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to the pan, and then we're going to cook down the ground beef until there's no more pink. To season my ground beef, I'm going to be adding some garlic powder, some onion powder, as well as some chili flakes, some thyme, oregano, and a little bit of basil. And I also went in with some beef bouillon. And then I'm just going to stir that up until the seasoning is well combined in it. And then we're going to add it to its serving bowl and just allow it to cool down. I also made some pizza sauce. It's very simple to make. If you guys are interested, I will link my recipe down in the description box for you guys. Now it's time to create our charcuterie board. Before adding my meats and cheeses to the board, I'm just going down with some parchment paper, and this is just to avoid all of the oils from the meats and cheese soaking into my cutting board. So I just like to go down with a little bit of parchment paper. Of course, you don't have to do this. It's just personal preference. To make the board look cute, we're going to create a salami rolls. Of course, you don't have to do this. You can do little bowls and just fold it up and place it down. But we're going to use a small glass and just create a rose for the centerpiece. And if you've never made a salami roast before, you're just going to add the salami overlapping the other one on the rim of the glass, and you're just going to keep on doing that until you have used up all your salami or made the rolls the size that you desire. Next, I'm going to layer down some raclette cheese and just putting it around the base of the salami just to help hold the rolls in place and just to line the board. It's no rhyme or reason for placement. I'm just putting it on the board. That's basically it. For another meat topping option, I'm going to cut up some ham because these ham slices are really big. I'm just going to cut them in half and just make little cones and just trace the lining of the salami rolls or the meat rolls. Of course, if you want to go ahead and add fruits, you can add fruits as a side and also some crackers if crackers is what you guys are having, but we're having pizza. So I went ahead and added the rest of the meats to this board, and then to another board, I'm going to add the slices of pizza dough. Y'all, store-bought pizza dough. I just was not in the mood to try to make any homemade pizza dough, so I just cut it up in little slices, and I also cut up all of our vegetables. We have broccoli, onions, mushroom, bell peppers, tomatoes. We just had a lot of veggies to go ahead and just make this night really, really nice, and just to have some options because I love options when it comes to making my little mini pizzas. This is how I set up the table for the raclette grill. That little grill in the center is the raclette grill. And we have our little raclette pans as well as skewers, your knife and your fork. And we also had some wines. I'm going to just show you guys how we make or use the raclette. I'm just going to add a little piece of pizza dough down, and then I'm going to add my homemade pizza sauce and then my toppings of choice. For my first pizza, I made a little meatball pizza. So I went in with my base, of course, and then I added in the cooked beef on top, and so delicious, y'all. After adding in my cooked beef, of course you can add in multiple meat toppings, make it however you want, go crazy, just don't go too high because there is only so much you can add to the pan before it can no longer fit in the little oven on the grill. And I just went ahead and added some veggies, my onions, as well as I think I added mushrooms to this as well. No, I didn't. I just added cheese. So after adding that with the cheese, I just put that in, and it was really simple. I also really like to make like veggie and cheeses with this. We didn't do any potatoes this time because we didn't want to go overboard with the calories. So I'm just going to add my veggies down and a piece of the raclette cheese. So I'm adding the mushrooms, onions, as well as broccoli. I'm going to add all of those down and then add the cheese on top and just let it melt into it, and it tastes so nice. If you have had like a baked potato with broccoli, it almost tastes like that without the potato. So I'm just going to add everything down and add it in the oven and just allow it to cook. And in the meantime, hubby and I are just going to be talking to each other and having a great conversation, sipping on our wine, and you just cook and eat as you go. And it also helps you to get full quicker without overeating. For the top of the raclette is like a grill, so you can actually cook the meat on top. So I'm adding some of the turkey slices on top as well as the shrimp, and I'm just going to allow that to cook. The small little, I don't know what kind of material that is, but the part where I'm adding the shrimp, you can also add your fondue pot and make fondue inside it as well, for those that don't know what a raclette is. Just giving you guys an overview of most of the little pizzas we made, as well as the veggie and cheese, because I did a lot of veggie and cheese versus the pizza because I'm trying to stay away from bread. But it was such a beautiful night, and the theory behind the raclette is just perfect because the time in between eating what you've already made and waiting for the rest to cook gives your body time to get full so you don't overeat. I absolutely love the theory behind this, but it's a really fun date night idea if you guys are looking for date night ideas, and if you have raclettes on your side of the world. Here in Europe, or Germany specifically, is very popular, so I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you're not as yet, and leave a comment down below because y'all know I love chatting it up with you guys. So until next time, you guys stay safe and Auf Wiedersehen.